We're going to have some fun. So hopefully everyone had a chance to have that second technology, whether it's your phone or iPad, so you can download Kahoot. And then we'll spend some time networking, getting to know each other a little bit more, and answering any questions that you have. So
Don't get
again,
afraid. It's not going to be too long. Cheryl's
no.
very good at keeping it within.
Exactly, exactly. And we know that beautiful weather is probably drawing everyone out, but we do hope that you'll enjoy some of the programming and the fun and just hearing from our trustees and grantees. So Julie, I think we're ready to start with the video.
2 seconds. You see it, right?
Yep.
Hi, my name is Carol Marcus. I am a founding member and a current co-chair of the Jewish Women's Foundation. And I am delighted to have this opportunity to introduce you to our meaningful work on behalf of women and girls. In 2007, a group of us who were involved in philanthropy on different levels, primarily in the Jewish world, sought to expand our reach and our manner of giving. We were interested in direct engagement with organizations which served a broader audience of underserved, needy populations, in the belief that strengthening women and girls would lift up the entire community. We focused on female empowerment. This included empowering ourselves by collectively using our own funds and giving each individual member a voice and a vote in selecting grantees. The result during the past 13 years has been breathtaking. By pooling our resources, knowledge, experience, and opinions, we have been able to greatly magnify our impact. We have served a broad variety of critical needs and improved the lives and the prospects of women and girls throughout New Jersey and Israel. In sharing our accomplishments, we hope we will inspire you to add your resources to ours in the service of repairing the world. It is now my great pleasure to introduce our membership chair, Betty Murphy.
Well, we might be here virtually, but I am actually so happy to be greeting you. I serve on several boards, but as membership chair for the JWF, my favorite board, let me tell you why you should consider joining us. Simply put, we, women, shape the future of philanthropy. Yes, JWF membership is first about giving together and granting for change, but it is also about educational and enrichment programs, cool cultural experiences, and really warm relationships with like-minded women who are committing to make life better for other women and girls. And this is the perfect time to join. Why? Well, our membership year goes from July to July. So each new class is invited to join in the spring and take advantage of an extra few months. The dues for the 3-year pledge cycle is $6,000. You can pay it all at once, or you can pay $2,000 each year when we invoice you. And if you pledge now, you get to jump in right away, take part in the granting process, go on site visits, and vote to determine the final grantees that will receive their grants from us beginning in July 2021. Frankly, if you only have so much money to give to charitable causes, and you send out those donations never knowing exactly what your money was used for, and like me, you would like to see the difference that your money made, then the JWF is for you. Let me know if you'd like to chat. I'm looking forward to greeting you in person soon.
Thank you, Betty. And now a few words from two of our favorite grantees, Oasis and Community Food Bank.
Hello, my name is Letitia Caroli. I work for Oasis, a haven for women and children. We are a small nonprofit organization that serves impoverished women and children. The Jewish Women's Foundation has been an enormous support to us over the past 4 years. You have funded a program, the first year of funding, you funded a program in which we help immigrant women get their citizenship. Then you funded a program in which we help women find work. We get them training for job certifications. We help them with their resumes, and your funding was significant and important to us for that program. You've helped us by funding a number of smaller initiatives. For example, right now, your funding is supporting a program we run called Girl Code. And this is a program in which we help young teen women who are living in poverty gain personal skills. We teach them about body positivity. We help them, we do workshops that help them learn about personal empowerment. We have a social worker who also assists them. This is an incredibly important program. It's very impactful, and it is changing the lives of young women. So we thank you for all your support over the years, and we look forward to working with you in the future.
Community Food Bank of New Jersey's Period Initiative is a menstrual equity program addressing period poverty by providing reliable monthly access to period supplies to low-income menstruators in need. We accomplish this by partnering with programs such as schools, food pantries, and community-based organizations across 15 counties. Jewish Women's Foundation was the inaugural funder for our Period Initiative, providing the resources and the support to get the program off the ground. We launched this effort because we realized our neighbors in need are forced to make difficult decisions between food and these essential menstrual products. Girls and women are held back due to lack of access to period supplies. Providing them through this program contributes to their health and wellness, dignity, and self-esteem. In year one of the program, made possible with leadership support from Jewish Women's Foundation, we launched the effort at a dozen sites across 4 counties, reaching 1,000 individuals. In year 3 of the program, we are now in over 40 sites across 15 counties, reaching over 3,000 individuals. But the need is more urgent than ever, given the impact of COVID. Women and girls, most notably those of color, disproportionately experienced food insecurity prior to the pandemic, and these disparities have only increased with the social and economic fallout from COVID. Our partnership with Jewish Women's Foundation really embodies an approach of women helping girls and women by providing regular and reliable access to essential period products to individuals in need. Community Food Bank of New Jersey is incredibly grateful for the partnership, thought leadership, and support of Jewish Women's Foundation. Thank you.
JWF, smart women coming together to give collectively to underserved women and girls in our area.
With JWF, you are learning all the time about organizations in New Jersey that are doing critical work for people in need, about issues that are driving our state, and you're working side by side with other women to leverage your time and your generosity for a much, much stronger return on investment.
Our grants change women's lives.
Grants from $2,500 to $30,000 allow us to help so many women and girls.
Working with so many smart, wonderful women of all ages to help change the world.
The site visits. I love the site visits.
And I know that the grants that Jewish Women's Foundation funds make a significant difference in the lives of women and girls, underserved women and girls who live in our community, right in our backyard.
Meeting 7.
For me, is that I have met many, many smart philanthropic, fun women who become my friends. And through Jewish Women's Foundation, I truly believe my life has been enlightened.
Susan, you're.
I know, I was just unmuting. Thank you. Thank you to, I'm Susan Present. I am the co-chair, the current co-chair with Carol Marcus, the outgoing co-chair. We have a 2-year cycle of co-chairs. So you have the benefit of learning, and then you have the benefit of leadership and experience the following year. And thank you, Julie Kaplan, for making that fantastic video to sort of help sort of explain what we do, because it's not always a straight line in terms of information. And basically, we are a giving circle. And as I said in my personal segment of the video, your philanthropy is really leveraged for the greater good, because we can give as a community $150,000 a year in grants to a whole array of nonprofit programs that we all select, and we vet the proposals and we vote. One woman, one vote. The process is really a great one, and you're learning, as I said, all the time. So I want to thank my fellow trustees who are here today, Betty and Julie and Deborah, and our executive director Cheryl, who has been a terrific addition to our team this past few years. And this, opportunity right now is really a great one. What we'd like to do is, instead of having a few people come and join us at different points throughout the year, we really thought it would be beneficial to the organization and beneficial to all of you is to come in as a group, as a class. We can sort of teach you and educate you in the process of the grant making process. And you won't be alone when you come to a meeting. When we all get to come together again, hopefully you'll have some people who joined alongside of you, and we think that'll be a really great addition to our process. So thank you for making the time for being here, and I'm now going to turn this over to Julie, who works on our membership program with Betty. So thank you, Julie.
Thank you, Susan. So we thought it would be a little bit more fun in your afternoon to do a little Kahoot, where you can learn a little bit about JWF as well as a little women history fun. This week is Women International Weekend, or Day was the other day. And so we thought it'd be a fun way to learn about JWF. So if you can get your second device that you have, if you have the Kahoot app, awesome. If you don't, you can, let me just do this. You can just go on to your Safari and just go on to kahoot.it.
And that's our number.
And that is the PIN number that you will be putting in. So does anyone need help, or everyone knows what's going on?
I'm in.
I see you, Queen.
Cool.
This music drives me nuts every time. Turn it off until everyone's in. Are we all in? No. Okay, waiting for Robin. All right, just give me a thumbs up if you're all.
Where's
We're waiting
Cheryl?
for Lauren
Okay,
and
we're waiting for
Well,
Lauren.
I'm not going to play Betty since I know
Since
all
you
the
know all the
answers, since I,
answers?
yeah. So,
Where's Lauren Meyer?
yeah, we're waiting for
Trying.
Lauren.
Lauren, are you coming on?
She's trying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Lauren or Laura, just let us know if you need some guidance.
Well, Laura's driving, so I'm assuming she is not going to play the Kahoot and just listen, which is probably the safe route to do.
I'll say.
I'm sorry, I'm doing carpool pickup, so I'm listening, but I cannot
Totally.
participate.
Do not worry.
No worries at all.
Okay, thank you.
And Lauren, I think your mute's on. And did you have a question?
There. Okay, I need some guidance to get on.
Okay, are you on Safari?
Safari.
Like
Or whatever your search engine
whatever
is.
your search engine is. You just have to put on top www.kahoot.com.
I'm on Chrome here.
Okay, that
Okay.
works.
So I'm just gonna highlight this right here. That's
Yeah,
what you're putting in.
okay.
And it seems like, Betty, I think we lost you. There's only 6 people in now.
What happened?
I don't know. Re-sign
We
in.
lost Betty and Carol.
And Carol. I think you guys, there we go.
Wait a minute. Okay.
It's because if you don't do anything on your phone, it goes out.
Okay,
Oh, refresh.
Wait a minute.
there we go.
Okay, there, now what?
All right, now just put the PIN number in. You see the, I'm gonna highlight that too, right here.
Okay. Oh, boy.
Sorry. I was trying to make it fun, but maybe we should have just done boring old slides.
Yeah, I'm just gonna watch, because I don't
right.
see.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
I'll just watch. I'll probably know everything, but just watch.
All right.
Okay.
Swipe. Okay.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
All right. Jewish Women's Foundation started in 2005, 2006, 2010, 2007. Pick which answer you think. Okay. Yes, it did start in 2007 with, I think, Carol, if I'm right, it was 10 women who started it together with this awesome idea. And now we are continuing it today. Good job. Jill is in the lead. When is International Women's Day celebrated? March 8th, April 8th, February 11th, June 11th. Yes, everybody, it is March 8th, and I'm sure a lot of us saw the postings if you're on all your different media. Jill is still there, Carol's there, and Susan. Here we go. Which country first gave women the right to vote? New Zealand, Australia, United States, or United Kingdom? There's no judging here. New Zealand is the correct answer. All right, Queen has a streak with 3 correct answers in a row, but Carol is still up there. I mean, Jill is still up there, sorry. JWF's mission is to help women and family, women and girls, just girls, women and boys. And if you were listening, yeah, women and girls. It's funny because we are always thinking, should it be women and girls or should it be women and families? And it's something we always talk about. So stay tuned if you join to figure that out. Queen has a streak of 4 in a row, catching up to Jill. JWF funds many different areas. However, one year we had a special initiative which focused on homelessness, education, LGBTQ community, or female vets. And that's actually a picture from our 10-year anniversary of the organization. So we did our first special initiative, which was on female vets. And I think we are thinking about doing one again for the future as well, because it was so successful. Okay, the Queen has taken the lead. Susan Present is coming up there. I feel bad for, okay, wait. Everyone should know this. Who sang the chart song, My Heart Will Go On? Mariah Carey, Celine Dion, Cher, or Shania Twain? Had to throw in a couple of
Celine.
ones in there.
I know that.
Excellent. You all did great. Had to have a couple easy ones in there. Susan has taken the lead. Uh-oh, Queen.
Well, what the hell?
I think I've just got a faster trigger.
JWF has given, oh, I can't see it. JWF has given many grants since we started. I think was can't read it. 101, 117, 122, 125. You guys are in my way. Yes, so far we have given 122 grants and many more to come. Hopefully with all of you helping us lead the way as well. Jill is back up there.
Jill, how do you know so much?
Which first lady held women-only press conferences? Johnson, Roosevelt, Ford, or Kennedy? And that's actually a picture of the press conferences.
Well, that helps.
Yeah.
You know who those people are? Roosevelt, yes. Johnson did do some as well, though, but she is the one that is known for the women-only press conferences. All right, Jill is still there. Deb B has a streak, though. She's coming. Each year, JWF brings trustees together for education and enrichment events. The most recent one focused on which area? Mental health, mentoring, tendency, or STEM?
Maternal health, not mental health.
Sorry, maternal. Sorry. I have mental health issues right now. Don't we all? So we all.
Those issues.
Pandemic issues.
Correct. It is maternal health. They were trying to skew you all. Excellent. Let's see who's up there. Susan Present is up there with Carol. Which is the name of the Mexican artist who began painting self-portraits after she was injured severely in an accident? Frida Kahlo, Leonora Carrington, Kahlo, sorry, Maria Canero, or Elizabeth Catlin? And it is Frida. And my daughter actually did a project on her right now. So that's where that came from. And we do a lot with the arts. One of our educational events, a lot of the women truly love the arts. So we do a lot with museums and learning about different artists as well. So just because we give grants, we also love the educational format as well. 4 players have reached an answer streak of 3. JWF small grants requests are funded up to 1,000, up to 250, 200, 500, 5,000 and 500. Sorry. And it is. When we first started our small grants, they were up to 1,000. And then we felt as a group that giving a little bit more was the way to go so that people could really get more out of the grants. Especially writing a grant is so much work. So we moved it up a couple years ago. All right, Carol, you're on a hot streak here. New York-born Elizabeth Blum Silverstein was dedicated to Jewish life and what long-term career? Women's health, criminal law, fashion designer, or politics? And that is actually a picture of her, and the answer you can see is criminal law.
Oh.
Oh, Carol had.
Oh, sorry, I didn't look. Who was the first woman to travel into space? Mae Jemison, Catherine Sullivan, Valentina Kirshanova, or Sally Ride?
Oh, it's the other one.
It was Sally Ride. I actually remember watching the Challenger.
Yeah.
All right, Carol. Debbie T, you just hit your 4 streak. Coming up there.
Learning how to be fast.
WWF's large grants are up to 10K, 20K, 30K, or 50K. So yes, we give up to 30K. We review by the end of the grant cycle. We usually are up to 10 to 12 that we review, and we go on the site visits where we learn more about these organizations, and then we are able to grant them. And then we see throughout the year what our money has gone to. They give us full reports, so we know where they are and what they're doing with it.
Just our
Yeah,
grants.
so we typically give away about 160 in the spring, and in the fall with the small grants at 2,500, about 10. So about 170, 180 per year.
We did all of our site visits virtually this year, and we were a little nervous because normally everybody's very used to going out into the field and visiting the the organizations, and it was actually super effective and very efficient, and so new learnings.
We got more people.
And I know that Betty, while we're on that, while Betty was talking about it, if you do join now, we just finished reviewing all of the proposals that we want, all the LOLs that we want to put full proposals out. So the site visits will be coming up. And as you have heard, a bunch of people, like that is the best part, is you get to see the organizations, you learn about them, and then we read all the proposals, and then we vote. One woman, one vote. So you definitely get to see where your money is going. Okay, next one, sorry. All right, Carol, 7 correct answers in a row. What ancient civilization gave women equal rights to the throne? Ancient Egypt, Mesopotamia, ancient Greece, ancient Rome.
Oh, no.
You must have gotten it wrong.
Oh, maybe I didn't. Yeah,
Ancient
Egypt.
Egypt.
Nefertiti.
Yep, moving around there. Carol's still up there. Queen's close.
I learned from my son on Quiz Bowl that it's the lightning speed that's important.
Yep, to provide COVID relief to Israel, JWF gave a grant to the Agricultural, this thing keeps going up there, Center to fund purchased laptops and tablets, food for families, sanitary products, or clothes. Sorry. Yes, we did. We purchased laptops and tablets. And one other thing besides the small grants and the large grants that we do is we do grant to Israel. And there is an anonymous fund that we have from somebody that we are looking at and reviewing different Israeli grants that are needed out there. So we
And
are.
just one quick note, the purchase of the laptops and the tablets were part of a release of emergency funds that our membership voted on last spring. That were no request for this money. We as a community saw the severe impact of the pandemic in our local community in Israel, and we just said we have to help. And so we reached out to a few partners and made, was it 4 or 5 grants, Cheryl?
No, 3.
Well, we did, the 3 main organizations, and then the Israel one. So yeah, 4 in total. And just a note on the Israel Fund, that's a separate fund, as Julie mentioned, was given by an anonymous donor. So it's not a part of our regular funding when we, have members join and goes into that pool, but it's nice to be able to do something yearly. There.
Okay, which was the first Chinese American movie star appearing in more than 50 movies beginning in the 1920s? Meryl Osborne, Anna Maya Wang, Miyushi Yomeki, or Jaden Wang? And that is a picture of her, if you know her. Wow, nice job. You guys are pretty up there. Yes, it is Maya Wang. And we do a lot, and the reason why we did the videos is we have done a lot of educational programming where we view different movies and become a part, and we connect with different organizations to do premieres and stuff as well.
Yeah, we've been a funder, a supporter of the Jewish Film Festival done through the JCC, or at the JCC in the past.
Okay, and this is our last one. Being a part of JWF is an opportunity to impact women and girls, an opportunity for your vote to count. One woman, one vote, to impact issues. Oh, you guys are quick. You're right. It's all of the above. We are one woman, one vote. We are helping women and girls in our area. The money that you give is where you see it goes. A lot of organizations, you just throw it into a pot, and which is great, and you're helping out, but this is, you vote, you see, and you're a part of it. And that's what drew me to JWF and the site visits, to really be engaged. And I know we're all in this crazy world right now, and a lot of us can give a lot of time and not a lot of time. There is no pressure here. You show up to a meeting, you don't. You are active for a little bit and you're not. No one is judging you, and you can do as little or as much as you want. So with that being said, let's see who won. Queen came in third. Susie came in second. And Carol, who was one of the first to join JWF, who started it all, won with Jill and Deb on the up there.
Well, she would have been whipped if she didn't.
But who was but Julie, who of our prospects had the highest score, please?
Oh, okay. Let me go back.
That's
Hold
really
on.
what's most important, because we
That
had
is.
inside
Okay,
baseball
let's see who
information.
listened.
I came in seventh. I was at the very, very bottom on almost every
Okay.
one of them.
Let me see if I go to next. I've never had to do that part. Let's see. Does it show?
We'll view full report, see what we get on the right.
I think it was Jill, actually.
I think it was Jill too. And then Deb T, sorry.
I missed the screen for the first four, so I had to log
It's
back.
okay. There's no judging. It's okay. You did
Just
great.
want
for
you to
what you
know.
did.
We know you would have gotten them right.
Yeah, please tell my sister Judy I would have gotten them.
You're okay. Don't worry.
All right, great. I hope everyone enjoyed that. We wanted you to have a little bit of fun, to not only practice some fun facts about women, but also to learn more about JWF and the wonderful work that we're doing. So we have about, 20 minutes left, and we wanted to give you an opportunity to ask any questions. I know that I think Julie's going to show the slide with Betty's contact information. As we mentioned earlier, Betty Murphy is our membership chair. And so if you do have more questions, or you want to come and be a part of a wonderful organization, Betty would welcome your calls, your emails. But happy to answer any questions or your thoughts. Jill?
I have 4 questions. Sorry, I was
Oh,
taking
that's
notes
wonderful.
throughout. So basically, the women that are part of the organization are Jewish, but the organizations don't have any religious affiliation that we help.
Right.
Okay. Um,
Actually, I'm going to tell you, you can also join and not be Jewish because one of my friends is a part and she is not. So.
And the
That's great.
executive
That's
and the
nice.
executive director, but it's
Great.
not, but.
Thank you. The geographic range of where we help, I mean, how much in New Jersey? Is it more our counties here, or where does that scope and breadth?
That's actually a really great question, especially because we just updated that this year. So we do fund across New Jersey. However, we've been increasingly getting more and more requests. So the trustees decided this year to narrow that catchment area. So we now focus in Union, Morris, Essex, Somerset, Warren, Passaic. I think I got them all in. So yeah. So, and yet we don't want to close any doors if there's a really great project. So we do allow, you know, on a special occasion, if there's something that really makes sense to our organization and we want to support, that people are still welcome to submit their proposal. But that is our catchment area.
It was difficult to make site visits in the non-pandemic. So we're kind of, it's an issue right now we're wrestling with.
So, and you said currently there are 50, around 50 members. What's the difference in terminology between trustees and just donors?
There is
You use the word trustees, and I wasn't sure what that meant, if that was an executive committee or what that meant.
No, everyone's a trustee.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure of that. Thank you. And my last question is, someone had talked about the benefits of if you join now, you're able to be part of kind of this granting cycle. But what if one cannot commit necessarily to the time during these few months? Are they obligated to do work during this quarter, or can they kind of start in July as kind of a full member that way?
So actually, you know, the word work is an interesting one in this group. As Julie said, some people join because they want to put their dollars into a women and girls benefit organization, but they don't want to do anything. They just want to send their checks, and they do. Those that I think are getting the most out of it, of course, are the ones who at least attend some grant meetings or go on site visits, because that is the meat of this organization. But for example, if you joined tomorrow, you would be counted, you send in your check, you would be counted as a member, and you could do whatever and attend whatever you wanted between now and July, and also through the following year. So you would have 4 months gratis. I also want to mention that anybody under 45, the pledge amount is different. Young associates or young trustees, of which in my mind and body I am, is $3,000 for the 3-year pledge. So it's $1,000 a year. So those who are in that wonderful, glorious age where you still can have a baby. Yes, Julie.
But I'm not having a baby.
I hear you. But it is a really valuable advantage. The other thing I wanted to say is you might be interested and say, I don't want to pledge for 3 years. I really only want to pledge for 1 year. So to get my hands into it, to see what I think. So a 1-year trial membership for a regular member, those of us over 45, is $2,500. And you are not then obligated for year 2 or 3. However, if you decide, which of course you would, that you loved it, then year 2 would only be $1,500 because you already paid the $500 in the first year on for $2,500. And for a young associate, it would be $1,500 for a 1 year. Let me, poke my toe in and see if I love you.
Great, thank you very much.
I think
and can I ask an inappropriate question? Did these numbers of 2,000 for 3 years, did that change from the beginning of when JWF was founded? Had it been a different
5 years? It was the same amount.
I had thought that.
5-year commitment.
Yeah.
Okay.
We thought
Thank
we
you.
thought $10,000 and a 5-year commitment, especially now people are moving and changing. That was a big commitment, but 3 years is a more chompable
It is.
time period.
Well,
Great.
also, to answer your question, Jill, about how much effort, work, I mean, if you join now, so what's going to be happening is there's reading of the people who put in, we narrowed down to about 12 people
Grant
that are
applicant.
asking for a full proposal. So reading that and voting on them. But you know what? If you don't have time to do the reading, you still want to come to the meeting. You'll get a sense from the people who report on the site visits of what it is. You still get to vote. That's really what we do in the spring. So it's not a tremendous amount. It's really 2 meetings, I guess, right?
The only other thing that we will be doing, one of the questions in the Kahoot was on educational enrichment, and that we had focused on maternal health, where we get experts on a particular topic to come and talk about that we learn. And then often then when we make grants, we have organizations to submit applications if they're working in that area. And then we've been able to fund some maternal health projects this last year. So we are going to have another education enrichment event in April. And we're tossing around a few ideas of what that'll focus on, but that may then inform grants for the future. So that, in addition to the grant review that's been described and voting on those at the June board meeting, you would also have an opportunity to attend the education enrichment event.
Thank you very much.
So
Great
Jill,
questions.
I just want to say that if you do join and you can't go on a site visit, it's fine. If you do join and you can't read any of the proposals, which I've been a part of this for a long time, and there are times that I don't go to any site visits. I don't read any of the proposals. But if you go to a site visit, there's someone who reports and they tell you about it. So you still know what's going on. And hopefully you can make the end grant meeting where you vote. And guess what? If you can't, it's okay too. So that's my whole thing, is every day changes in this world and you don't know what tomorrow will bring. And it's just a great organization and you get to see where your money goes.
Laura?
There are some people
So
here that
I
know
have
me.
I have a
Go
couple
ahead.
questions. One is, so I thought I heard is it $6,000 per year, or is it $6,000 for, I didn't understand what that was.
Yes, the pledge cycle of 3 years for a regular member is $6,000.
Okay.
You can pay it all together, or $2,000 a year. And if you're under 45, that 3-year cycle is $3,000 or $1,000 a year.
Okay. So then my other question was, are you spending all your money, or do you have money left over? And then the third question is that do people eventually, because these organizations tug on their heartstrings, do then people within the 50 group, do they then give additional money because they realize that this is a great organization?
We don't know the answer to that. I mean, I think that there are probably some people who do get acquainted with nonprofits that they otherwise may not have heard about. We had one member who was so moved by one of the site visits and organizations we granted to, she started training to become a social worker. So I think there's people are impacted in very different ways.
Okay.
Okay,
Can I ask-
Robin had a question too.
Yeah, I want to just follow up on, I have a few questions, but follow up on Laura's question. I'm wondering, do members ever bring the organizations that they already are supporting to the foundation?
Yeah, we are always asking for to build our database, because what we'll do is blast out emails letting organizations know about our upcoming deadlines to apply. So the richer that list is, the richer group of proposals we have to read.
Absolutely.
That was my next question, which was really, how do organizations know to apply for a grant?
Cheryl, do you want to take that?
Oh, yeah. So we've been working really, really hard to build our database, which we've actually tripled the amount of requests that we've gotten in just this last year. And a lot of that has been through many of our trustees spreading the word and sharing additional organizations. We've had our work highlighted in various local newspapers, and so people find out about it that way. The one great thing about the small grants is, it's 2,500, but it's a
This
way
is a really bad mistake.
to leverage for organizations to then take that and leverage it to get other grants, and so the word starts to
There's a
spread.
reason I'm saying no.
Once they're on our
The
database,
reason-
we send out an RFP every spring and every fall to everyone on our database
No,
to say
that's the
the RFP is open.
No, but
Okay.
it's the reason not to be here.
My next question.
Lauren, you might want to mute yourself.
Okay.
Where are in-person meetings when?
They typically are at Federation, Jewish Federation in Whippany. But occasionally we've, especially for like our grant review meetings, our education enrichment events, we often have many of our trustees to host those at their homes.
And we sometimes met at the JCC in West Orange.
Okay.
It's really available rooms.
And we do balance meetings in the afternoon, midday and evening, especially when we're trying to figure out who's working, who's not working. So we take a vote. When do we want to have meetings at 12 o'clock or at 7 o'clock? And we do try to balance.
Right. And we've started to have conversations as an executive board about, as we transition forward, whether some of these Zoom opportunities stay with us, that maybe part of our trustees are in the room and those who need the flexibility can still access the meetings remotely. So that's something we're looking to figure out. How can we offer maybe a hybrid to be able to accommodate more people's schedules and needs? So. Do you have any other questions?
For those people who want to put clothes on, we'll have in-person meetings. And for those people who have no jeans on, just their tops, they can come in online.
We used to say you had to be in the room to vote, but Zoom has changed everything. And in many ways, Zoom has been a plus for attendance and for convenience. So we're going to work that going forward.
Any other questions? I know a couple people were asking me in the chat to put the amount in, so I did put that in the chat. Any other questions about our process or any of the organizations that we support? We really cover everything from homelessness to mentorship to leadership to the arts, health. And I mean, I could go on and on. We really touch on a lot of different categories, seniors.
And we do try, or some of us try, when we're doing each clump of grants to kind of balance between subjects, programs, and Jewish, non-Jewish. I mean, there's no rules. It's the best grants and the ones that get the most votes. But that's kind of certainly always in my mind of balancing the issues. Our stipulation and something else we've struggled with is women and girls. And that has been our focus from the beginning, but sometimes there are programs that include families. So then there are boys in the family. So it got to be a little fluid.
Right. So
we discouraged a proposal that they've just sort of said, oh, okay, we'll use your money for the women. When that's, clear from their proposal. So it's always flexible.
I think it is important to know that we don't keep ourselves just to Jewish organizations. I think that's very important. When I first joined, I thought Jewish women's, I'm sorry, they're doing construction next door if you're hearing noise. I thought when I first joined that it was just going to be Jewish women giving money to Jewish organizations. But I think one of the years or two of the years, we didn't give a single grant to a single Jewish organization. So it's what's going to benefit the women and girls, and how does that benefit the rest of society? And that makes the difference.
And basically, the Jewish agencies associated with Federation, the clients that they serve are non-sectarian anyway. So it's not, it's a broad focus of grantees and broad focus of people who benefit.
Right. And just to also just for clarity, our funds are managed by the Jewish Community Foundation, which is part of Greater Metro West. And so we're not managing the funds by ourselves. It's being done professionally. And we receive, all the reporting and everything. So your money is well taken care of. It's not just sitting in a bank account. It's, professionals are managing the funds.
And Laura, were you the one, I thought you were asking a second question, and was that that do we use up all our money at one time? Or was somebody?
It was Laura.
Spent all the money for the,
Right.
And we don't.
The question is, did you spend all your money to date?
No.
And what if you don't? You haven't.
No,
Right. And that was something that allowed us, for example, in the spring during the pandemic, to draw on resources that we had and put out money, let money flow out into the community in an emergency situation. So there are some groups that sort of take the money in and push it back out, but we actually are sitting on a little bit of a bigger corpus. So.
Who were the three that we gave the grants for COVID? One was Jewish Family Service. What were the others, Cheryl?
It was
Oasis, Community Food Bank, and then the Israel one that we mentioned in the Kahoot.
all emergency services.
Right.
All right.
I
But
want
we
to
could
be
also give,
cognizant
the
of-
so
Go ahead, Laura.
I have another question. Sorry, the Israeli fund, that could be I could make a separate donation just to that fund, correct, or no?
Yeah, well,
Well, that was a donation from an anonymous donor, and that is invested as the regular pool is. And so you definitely have input into what we decide to do with that money, as the one woman, one vote. At this time, we don't have anything in place where your dollars can go to just that fund. We actually have a Israel committee that was recently formed to discuss it a little further, to determine some more specifics moving forward. But Carol or Susan, I don't know if you want to add anything.
I was just going to say we were discussing, no decisions, whether members above and beyond your commitment might donate to that Israel fund, because it was originally just one donor, but
who entrusted JWF to dispense the money. So
Right.
we were, it's an unusual situation. And so what we're looking to do is kind of keep everything as part of our community giving. So we're trying to sort of resolve that sort of outlying situation.
but that money is decreasing because it was just that initial gift. So going forward, we may make some other decision.
But in short, we would not expect you to do your pledge and then say, hey, you have to give another $500 to the Israeli fund. Absolutely not.
Looking at it as an incremental.
Right.
It was more like if it's the 6,000 for the 3 years, and then if I wanted to give incrementally to that fund in particular, I could.
We're not set up for that right now, but that's something.
Okay.
At the end of this year.
Okay, so just
Let's
keep me
start-
posted when that comes to fruition.
Great, thank you. The other thing that may be interesting to know, we're JWF of New Jersey, and there are many JWFs across the country. So we do try to, as much as possible, to gain best practices and interact. Some of the grants that we do make in Israel, we have combined with other JWFs to combine funds and fund some special projects. So it's just a great network. There is a small one in southern New Jersey. They're set up very different. Grants are by invitation only. And then, of course, the one in New York is really huge, and they're focused on entrepreneurs. So each JWF has its own guidelines and mission and the way they work. But it's great to be able to, through this network, to share best practices and support each other. And they often have conferences and events and workshops that we can share with our trustees to join. So that's another great activity. It is 1:04, and I want to be cognizant of everyone's time. These have been great questions, and it's so great to meet all of you. I know some of you have put in the chat to with your email to get in touch. But Julie, I don't know if you want to put up Betty's information again. Betty definitely would be the person to contact if you are interested in joining or have additional questions, or of course, one of the chairs, Susan or Carol or myself. But we really appreciate you spending this time.
We're all here to answer questions. Thank you, everybody, for participating.
Thank you very much.
It's great to meet everyone.
Look forward to following up.
Thanks.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.